Hello and welcome. In the previous video we created our form, so in this video we are going to learn how you can send requests to the API, and we will learn about API resources in Laravel. So let's start how we are going to do it. If I come to the user component here, we have all our form components here, like input, all of those stuff, but you do not have any starting form that should say the form start from here and the form should end somewhere. So I will start here. This is the modal body, so I will start the form here. For now, let me just remove this one and we will end it all the way down. So if I click there, this is selected, you come down, this is going to where it is going to end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to include the footer, the modal footer too, because we have our create submit button here. If someone click on this one, it should submit our form, so our form will end here. So this is fine for this one. And if I come up, now we have to write the action here where it is going to send. So if you check out the Bootstrap the VForm and the Bootstrap version 4, they say that it should be something like this. They are going to use the, let's say, the login. So the form starts here. If someone submitted, prevent the default or the click, it should not refresh the page. This prevent means it should not refresh the page, and then it will call the login function, and this is how it is going to work. And then the login function will just send a request. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the same thing here. We do need to write the action. We are going to do that in the JavaScript part. So I will just say at submit and call a function. Let's say create user. That's it. And then here I will just write some prevent, so it should prevent the default click event. It should not refresh the page or reload the page. It just call this function, and this function all the way down you can write it. So if I come here, you have the mounted here, and you have the methods, you can write them here. So for this one we can write create user. That's it. You can create the user and it should send an HTTP request to the server, and it should create. Now when you are sending an HTTP request, of course this is going to post something to the HTTP server. So how it is going to do it, I hope this is the correct name. Nope, it should be create user. Yes, we have the create user. So if I come here, the VForm, it has a lot of helper function. We can use some of them. So if I come here, one of them is this one. This says if someone click on the login, just submit a form with the request. How it is going to do is this is going to say this.form.post, means this is our form. This refer to the data or the whole component. Form refer to this form object, and post is going to post our data to this URL. You just pass the URL and then it will post it. So what I'm going to use is I'm going to use the same thing. For now we are not going to post the data, but the thing is I should teach you how you can send data to the API controller. So this is how it is going to work. You post something for the user, you should have an API for this one. Let's say we have an API, then you have a user. The reason is because we will secure the API. Let's say, for example, people should not be able to send requests to the user API. Only those who are logged in, those who are using our application, they should be able to do. That's why we should put them in API directory. So here is how it is going to work. For now it is just fine. I will save it, and what I'm going to do is we will go to the route here. We have 4 files, channel, console. We don't need to use them. Previously we used to use web. Now we have to use the API. API will put the API middleware. As you know, middleware is just like a wall around your application. So it will put the auth middleware for all the requests you have. So you can put everything here. For now, if you put it here, you have to be authenticated to have to access. That's why we are going to use Laravel passport for this one. Of course, there are so many things you have to know. I will teach them step by step, but for now, we just write it down here so that we can send requests to the server, and then we can save it to the database. So first of all, let's create a controller for this one, for the user. If I come here, HTTP controller, we don't have any controller for the user, so let's create it. If I come to the Laravel website for this one, we are going to use the API. So what you can do is, you can use the PHP artisan make controller and pass the flag of API at the end, and it will create an API controller. When you create an API controller, you don't need some of the functions which is not necessary. So what I'm going to use is, I'm going to use the same structure. So let's open the console here, and I will use PHP artisan make controller. Now we will write API. It will create an API directory for us. I think the slash, yeah, it should be like this, slash, then you just specify the controller. You can say user controller and then API. So let's enter and see what is going to create for us. For now we don't have any API URL API directory here, but it should create an API directory for us. Yes, successfully done. And if I open this one, you have a user controller. If I open this one, let's see what is inside this. You have index, you have a store, you have show, you have update, and you have destroy. You don't have the edit and some of other stuff. So that is something cool about this one. And plus you have them in the API directory. Now what you are going to do is, if you are going to reference it here, so what you can do is, you can use the route, the resource API. So let's come down and let me show you how the resource one is going to work. Yeah, you can use the route API resource, and then you can give it a name. This is much easy. You used to say, let me open the web. No, we don't have anything here, but we used to use the resource controller. Now you can do is, you can just put the API resource, and it will create an API resource for you. So I will come here and say, we have route API resource. I hope I am doing the spelling correctly, so I will use it. And then you can say this is going to be for the user, and what it is going to do is, you can just reference the name of the controller you have for them. So we will write it down here. We say you go to the API directory, and we have a user controller. Now let's check out all our routes. So I will just write here PHP artisan route list to list all our route, and let's see if it can prefix the route for us. So oops, we missed something, I think. PHP, nope. So we have a error in the line, something here. So if I come here, let me close this one. Where is our error? Web. If I save it, I don't think if we have any error now. We saved it. Again run the command. No, again we have a error here. So what is the error? Route resources must pass one argument. So if I come here, you have the user. So let's check out the documentation. Okay, if I check the documentation, they passed an array. So for us, if I come here and run the command again, it is going to give us the array, the error that the type should be array. I think this is new in Laravel 5.7. So you should pass an array for this one, for the API resources, because in my other applications I used to use like directly, you can just write them like a regular resources. So what I'm going to do is just close the console, and instead of this one we just write an array. So we will pass the array, and I will write a user. It should be user, and the value should go to API slash user controller. If I save it, this time if I come here and route the these are the list of the routes. So if I come here, we must have some API for our application. So let's see if we have them. For the user, no, we don't have. Yeah, here is the routes. It is going to be API user, which is going to be for the index one, API for the post, That is what we are going to do, and it will call the store function. So this is how you can store all your API controllers in Laravel. So what else we need is, if I come here, yeah, this is going to send us to the correct URL, and then in the next video we will start just sending data to the URL, and we can store them in the database. So I hope it has been informative for you. If you have any question, feel free to ask below the video, and thank you for watching.